I've been told I have a before. Yeah. I know what
Senator. Oh.
So they're only
No, not at all.
I'm taking.
Are you excited for your senator report?
So that's another.
Is the answer ever yes?
I think we should
I don't
also
think so.
work on.
I don't think it is. I don't think the answer is
Because
yes.
quite frankly, HSS is in a tough spot right now. Arms are coming down, and it's like, well, all the arms are classes are in HSS, so all the professors even before us are coming down. They go, oh, let's switch our classes over to online now. So when ours already and ultimately, that's what's going to kill HSS at the end of the day.
We also have someone who can only.
I appreciate it.
We're getting close to that. It would be a good day.
No, I need
Because I just talked with John.
I think that's why I might help you guys.
Calendar for the first.
Oh, they want us to call the question. I thought, and all of us are like, hell, I don't think that. The normal thing is don't do it on a Friday.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it on Friday. No, I'm not gonna do it on Friday this time. Yeah. I learned my mistake the hard way. Wednesday.
My small additional problem that I have is when Bob mentioned transparency. We've already passed a resolution talking about the transparency. We already passed a resolution.
Oh,
It did nothing. I'm sorry. I will say.
This will all take about like.
The problem with that one is when Gage signed it, they will call.
I mean,
what does this
I
mean?
did not think my interview was
That
gonna
one
be an
I
hour.
felt
That is, and it's a very long interview. I mean, that's usually a pretty good sign
It's,
though.
yeah, I got the second interview, but it was the first
I have some
interview in
concerns,
an hour.
especially about the finance.
I like this idea of expanding
Irks
the.
me. And probably on.
I respect, I do hope that they get these, 7 individuals entrenched. Insane,
Library.
that we, they can only entrench people if there's not sufficient funds. If they're citing, there is, I don't think. Now, I do, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Senate hasn't seen those documents. The Senate doesn't know where these
Need to confirm
and resolutions.
those ones.
Like last.
On what dates they can.
Yeah,
show up.
The crew or the people who are presenting these
all
things,
those
who wrote this resolution based on that document,
I
come to us and say, here's the document that was
But I
provided to us
know-
and based on resolution.
all of them.
So you guys can understand.
So how about we do it?
Oh,
just like if that's it, then I could get like 2 or 3 dates. I like both of you. And then we can be like, okay,
I think that fixes the problem.
or we could send a Wendy. I think the Wendy.
I mean,
I do too. Because we haven't done anything. I just messaged Frost, I went, yep, let's keep condemning. Let's keep condemning. Because we haven't done anything. Can you see that here? I wanna see how they react.
I don't understand.
well, they send it to when the dean tells you.
I'm sorry, currently I don't fully understand the idea of the administration hating us.
No, because we're not, we're also not the administration, we're not tied to the administration. Our goal is for students to solve.
Hello and welcome everybody to the 94th Student Government meeting for December 3rd, 2025. It is currently 4:04 p.m. and I call this meeting in order. This meeting is being conducted in CSU 238 and on Zoom. We will begin with our land recognition statement at first. Student government acknowledges that we live, work, and learn in the homeland of the Dakota people, whose language frames our institutions named Minnesota State University and Cato. We shall now begin with our roll call. Herbert, Senator Kabad, Senator Dietrich,
Here.
Senator Morris, Senator Rayaz, Senator Nguyen, Senator Anderson, Senator Zelmer, Senator Cummings, Senator Ide, Senator Haluka,
Here.
Senator Isaac, Senator Knauer,
Here.
Senator Johnson,
Here.
Senator Atkinson, Senator Stokes, Senator Hillstead,
Present.
Senator Shawn, Senator Liu, Senator Frost, Senator Wickersham, Senator Aubard, and Senator Wynn. Vice President Taftley, President Colrin, and Speaker Tapa is here. With that being said, is there any amendments or dissents for the consent agenda? Any amendments or dissents for the consent agenda? All those in favor of consent agenda, please raise your placards. All those who are not in favor, please raise your placards. Seeing consent agenda clearly passes. We now move forward with our presentation. I'd like to invite Director Amy Kaltbach for registration window change.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Amy Carmack. I am the Director of Registration and Academic Records, also known as a registrar. I do have some handouts, so I'm going to go ahead and pass those around just for folks who like to have a little old school tactile there. So I'm here today because I wanted to talk to you about a registration window change proposal. Next slide. There we go. So why change registration windows and why are we talking about this now? So I actually want to skip down to the last bullet point that's on here because it's incredibly timely. We had an article that was written in an MSU Reporter article about the registration process, students getting ready to register, and it was actually noted in the article that the windows that we have are slightly outdated for the technology and the way that students need to use them. In addition to that, there's a whole other separate conversation that was happening behind the scenes. So it was really serendipitous timing that both of them kind of connected together. But the biggest reasons why we want to look at changing registration windows for the better are really the top 4 things that are on there. We really need to adapt to technology and trends. The way we do it now is not really how students need it to be done. It doesn't allow for flexibility in how they like to register for things. We can improve student access and equitability. And my favorite, reduce stress. How many people get anxious when you're trying to register for classes, but you got to hold or it's not going fast? I'll raise my hand. Absolutely. Yep. It contributes to a lot of student success initiatives that we have on campus. We know from other literature that it can possibly increase enrollment and retention. It can help students not miss deadlines, and it can really help with some of those financial aid concerns that I know folks are dealing with. So next slide, please. So that's kind of the context of what we're presenting. So we started having conversations about this. We've had conversations in RAR, obviously. We talked with the folks in advising, the Enrollment Management Operations Group, Academic Affairs, and now to you, because you are the actual users and the folks who would be impacted by this. So we want to present 2 different options to you. So the next slide. This is our current registration window. There are 14 registration windows, right? And they open and close. You have an incredibly short amount of time in order to register for your classes, and you have to wait sometimes if you've missed your window until it opens back up, right, for everybody. Not great. So the example I like to use is, let's say you had a hold on your account. You missed your registration window because you needed to take care of the hold. You now have to wait for the open period before you can register. But if we look at different registration window options, that barrier is gone for students. So you could take care of your hold and then be able to register as soon as your hold is done, so it doesn't delay your registration. So next slide. So this is option number 1. And the 2 options that I'm presenting to you are options that have been shared across the ACRO, which is the Registrar National Group. And so this is what a majority, options 1 and 2, are what a majority of schools, especially our size and our benchmark institutions, are doing. Option number 1, you can see we've reduced it to 7 registration windows. It is all based off of credits, and of course we still have early and priority registrations, those don't change. Option number 1, registration opens and closes for different groups and then reopens for the during open registration. But you'll notice that if you were in that 0 to 29 group, you have from November 9th until the 11th to register, and then it will open back up. But in the old windows, right, if you're in that 0 to 3 group, you have to wait all to the very end. So you actually have a slightly more advanced time to register. Option number 2, which I will say is the option that when presented with all of the other units on campus, this is what everyone seems to favor. And here's why. We have again, just now 6 registration windows, but this allows it to stay open. And yes, the technology can support this. We have moved past the reason that we had so many registration windows. Welcome to 2025, y'all. And so now, if we did option number 2, once your registration window opens, it then stays open. So you don't have to wait for an open registration window at this point. So again, the example I use is the holds. If you had a hold on your account and you were in that 60 to 89 credits completed group, starting November 3rd, you'd be able to register for classes. And let's say you were able to get your hold taken care of like on November, I don't know, 6th, the next time. You can go ahead and register. You don't have to wait for the open registration. Next slide, please. So overwhelmingly, the other stakeholders favored option 2, but we do have 2 options that we're presenting to you all for consideration. This will allow more flexibility for students to register, especially when we think about it from a convenience standpoint. But again, it aligns with so many other initiatives that we have going on here at the university. And advising will still be able to meet with students in a reasonable time frame. So if you are someone who likes to meet with your advisor early, which is a fantastic habit, you will still have plenty of time to meet with them in order to get registered on time. Now, we want to see, because I think I only have 10 minutes, and I want to make sure I'm really allotting most of this time for questions and answers that you might have. I know I talked kind of fast, so that's why we have the handout. So that if you think of anything later, you can always contact me too. You can email me or stop by. We love visitors in person. You can always stop by too. So with that, I want to open it up to see anyone has questions, comments, concerns, anything you'd like to share.
Any senators with questions? Senator Dietrich, followed by Senator Stokes, followed by Senator Atkinson, and followed by Senator Frost.
I am a strong proponent of option 2. It has never really made sense to me how if you missed your registration window, you had to wait for open registration. Hearing now that it may have been related to technological concerns, that makes more sense. But if that has since been resolved, I think that any option that allows for registration to open and remain open is the way to go.
I completely agree also. I believe option 2 seems to be a logical standpoint for the students. It is accessible for those having holds. It is accessible for those going through advising. I believe it's a necessary and logical step.
I would have to agree with both Senator Stokes and Senator Dietrich, excuse me. Option 1, I really am in favor of option 2 because with option 1, if it just seems like it would create more problems than it would solve, honestly, to have registration windows closed. Like for example, if someone with early registration, for someone with early registration, having to wait from what would it be, like November 2nd to November 12th to register would be brutal, especially because classes, fill up so quickly. So yeah, I'm a very big supporter of option 2.
Well, I'm gonna sound like a broken record now, but I'm also a big fan of option 2. I'm a freshman this year, so I've only registered, twice now. But I think option 1 just would be a little confusing and kind of has similar issues to the system we're trying to move away from, with that it locks you in kind of. So I'm a big fan of option 2. I think it's just less confusing overall.
Do we have any other senators? Senator Wickersham?
Yeah. Thank you for coming to speak on this issue. And again, I sound like a broken record. I think option 2 is also a great idea. However, I do have a question for both of these options with simplified registration windows. How will this prevent the problem from students who have completed more credits being locked out of classes that may be smaller or may be less accessible that they have to have in order to complete their degree?
That's an excellent question. So if, let's say you're in the, what would be like the juniors group, so you're in the 60 to 89, I think it is, but one of the classes you need is now already full from the other group. you now have the opportunity where you can continue to watch it. So this doesn't necessarily solve for closed sections, but it allows you to continue to make changes. So you can continue to add drop. There'd be no frames that you'd need to work around for that. So that would be kind of nice. And then it allows you to, let's say there's a class that you need for your major to stay in sequence, it's closed. Once your window opens, you put yourself on the wait list earlier. So you could hopefully be like number 1 on a wait list, but then 2, you could talk to the department to see if they could do a potential override into that closed class. Or maybe they have an open section that they have hidden behind the scenes that they can open. So I'd say it gets you on the wait list faster.
Okay, thank you.
Senator Hidalgo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yeah, so I'm kind of echoing a similar sentiment. While I'm also in support of option 2, one thing that I will say is that blocking off the different credits in between or making it such a big group might cause a little bit of conflict with people's schedules, because typically as your credit load goes, or as your credits that you've taken and completed go up, also your involvement in other avenues of student life are also going up. So somebody who is in for their second semester, or who has just completed their second semester and now is going to be competing with somebody maybe who took less credits by just a little bit and is going into their third semester or something along those lines, it's going to provide a little bit more friction there. Well, they might have more obligations to attend to. So I would consider maybe adjusting the size of the blocks and maybe adding a 7th window into there at the least.
So then from a student perspective, if we didn't do it based off of credit, which is connected to classifications in the system, from a student perspective, what kind of distribution would work so that it's equitable?
Senator, do you want to follow up?
Not to put you on the spot, that one may think, people can think on that. You can always email me too.
One potential way you could do it is via the highest level of class last taken. For example, people who have last taken a 400 level class can register before a 300 or 200 or 100 level class. Because while that does coincide typically with, that does actually coincide pretty closely to, how many credits you've taken. It also allows incoming transfer students who are in higher levels of their education to register before freshmen and sophomores.
Yes, Senator Hidalgo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd just like to further comment on something that was just previously said. With that, there are some majors such as mine political science that are mostly 400 level credits all in. Across the board, there's actually very few lower level classes that you take in those majors. And so maybe basing it off of something like that wouldn't be the most beneficial idea, but I could see how it could work as well. So I just wanted to comment on that.
Thank you. Do we have any other senators with questions? All right, seeing none, thank you so much.
Thank you all so much for your time.
We shall now move forward with open forum. Is there anyone here today for open forum?
Hello. I'm Cole Coots. I'm president of Mavericks for Change. You've probably seen me before. I'm kind of here today to talk about the resolution to condemn retrenchment and sort of keep you on base with our position on the resolution and hopefully kind of address some of your concerns with the resolution because we are still hopeful that it might be expedited for passage today. Of course, you guys work on your own time frame and I respect that. But I would just like to begin with a little address and then I can take some questions after. This semester, the mission of Mavericks for Change has been to represent and address to our best abilities the needs and anxieties of our peers. We renewed our pledge to the advancement of a diverse, affordable, and safe campus community, and through tabling, community education events, and close communication with staff, we've identified the pathway to achieving those goals and the obstacles along the way. The resolution to condemn retrenchment is the culmination of this semester's work and the first step towards advancing this agenda throughout the latter half of this academic year. It seeks to align the interests of faculty and students towards this shared vision and demands accountability from a decision-making philosophy which has foregone these values for speculative, impractical practices that endanger the accessibility and prestige of our programs. None of this resolution was drafted without absolute certainty that each clause accurately portrayed the circumstances which prompted its inception. We are not pessimists or critics, but passionate advocates for a positive direction for this university, and believe this resolution fulfills a dire need for reform shared by students and professors alike. For this reason, we have chosen to forego a favorable timeline for passage in pursuit of critique and insight from professors and students involved. The language of this resolution has seen revisions both from representatives and faculty alike, and consequently secured the endorsement of the Faculty Association. Tuition increases alongside program cuts and retrenchment are both excessive and indicative of a wholesale shift in priorities that aren't representative of our needs or desires. Moreover, the retrenchment itself indeed carried no legitimate financial justification. This is true. In exchange for the absolute confidence we've brokered for this resolution, we are short another session to oversee its passage, and that's why I must encourage the representatives here to expedite its vote for today. Next semester, our mission will be to unite the Faculty Association to take substantial actions for the reinstatement of our wrongfully retrenched professors and programs, while advocating passionately for favorable wages and conditions for student workers, and long overdue divestment from the Palestinian genocide. To truly realize these ambitions, we will need to both adopt direct methods of advocacy and communication, and leave our legislative achievements for this semester in 2025. This session represents a critical opportunity to pass tone-setting legislation that boldly unites and declares our interests, and I'm confident that everyone here recognizes that reality. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we have any questions? Yes, Senator Huluka, followed by Senator Wickersham.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question for you is particularly regarding some of the language used in the resolution. A lot of these things are things that we've discussed prior to this meeting and we've come to sort of a consensus about. But one of them that I'll bring up is this whereas clause. Whereas the aforementioned decision reflects a concerning pattern of financialized and speculative decision-making, which endangers the pursuit of diverse, affordable, and prestigious academic endeavors. And there's more to that more to that whereas clause that I'll leave out for now. But I would just like to question, according to what metrics are we using to categorize these decision makings? Have you conducted any conversations with university administration regarding these metrics, and could you share a little bit on those?
Yes. So I would say the primary metric that we're looking at here is there's been a dramatic increase in cut programs. And so from what we can gather from what the administration has publicly disclosed, they're essentially taking a look at the programs that have the least amount of enrollment. And these are often later offered courses for students who are more slipping into their academic niche. So what happens is they would essentially take a look at a program that isn't very populously enrolled, and they would choose to either merge that program or cut it entirely. This was the case for the Women and Gender Studies graduate program, as well as a couple other environmental studies in STEM. And essentially the critique about that and sort of the critique that we have about the way that they're going about retrenching these programs and firing these professors is that it's done purely on the basis of the population in the program, the enrollment that students are having in the program. This is just my personal experience, but I came to Minnesota State University Mankato because I'm looking to get into a law program, and I want to get a degree in political science. But I also don't want to go broke by getting my undergrad at Hamlin. And this is the same story that a lot of students have to share, is that they are trying to fulfill a specific academic niche that would otherwise be unaffordable to them if they choose to go to a private university. In particular, this involves languages, language courses in particular, as well as sort of those aforementioned environmental studies, aviation, things like that. Now, I think aviation is safe because we recognize that we are the only place that offers an affordable, or just in general in Minnesota, aviation course. But the same can be said, again, for language programs. I've had a lot of conversations with students who said, I want to do a social advocacy program, or I want to have a minor in this language, or something of the sort. And the university took steps simply on the basis of how popular these programs are to cut them and make them inaccessible. And that really disincentivizes people who are searching for a specific degree to come to Mankato. I think that is one of our strongest selling points, and we are kind of abandoning it for what I would say is a financialized, speculative methodology of cutting programs.
Thank you. I'd like to remind everyone as well that we will be discussing retrenchment resolution under new business. So any further questions, I'd request only raise if you think it's going to be raised into discussion for further more details, or something that you think we don't have time for in discussion itself. And then also make sure the answers are short, keeping the time constraint.
Yep.
Senator Wickersham.
Yes, so not ignoring what the speaker has said, because I previously asked the two named senators of this resolution whether or not they had input on this, and they said that they admittedly did not have as much as I expected. So now I am asking Mavericks for Change. I question the validity of some of these statements in the whereas clauses, and I would like to ask where this information came from, because you and your organization refuse to cite any of those sources in this resolution.
So if need be, we can go back. I suppose this is kind of the beauty of being put in a position where we might vote on this next semester. But the purpose of getting the endorsement of the faculty association is that we had them go through the resolution in one of their meetings and check through each clause. And I want to make sure that the resolution itself entirely coincides with their position on retrenchment. And that includes the language which informs their position on retrenchment. So all of these whereases were cited and were left included because I can say with absolute confidence that the faculty association believes them to be true, and can reiterate that through a lot of the classified information that they have control over. When it comes down to the nitty-gritty in terms of the financial circumstances of a lot of these decisions, much of that is between administration and faculty themselves. So that's why I depend on the faculty association's endorsement for a lot of the claims that were made in this. Yeah.
Thank you. Senator Heluka will be the last question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So you've spoken about the faculty association's endorsement of this resolution. My question for you is there any further statements that were provided by the faculty association? And additionally, was there an official vote conducted and voted in the affirmative of this endorsement by the faculty association?
Yes. So the faculty so they did not provide any extra statement as far as their endorsement. But in order for the resolution to be endorsed, it had to go in front of the faculty association. And I checked this with them myself. They did have to vote on endorsing the resolution, and that, they voted to do so. So yes.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Everybody, please give them a big round of applause. Do we have anyone else for open forum today? All right. Seeing none, we just move forward with our Dean of the Day. I'd like to invite Muarba Mavita, our Dean of College of Education. Please give them a big round of applause, everyone.
President, Vice President, Speaker, Senators, all protocols observed. This is another day that I'm here to speak about the College of Education. It's very hard to follow the Mavericks in action because what I was going to present is something that I see in that resolution. You may have heard, I don't know how much you know about what College of Education is doing, but one of the things that this semester has been a goal was to bring two departments together to form one cohesive department. And through that process, nobody was retrenched. I want to report that. And I didn't do anything, but I gave them the parameters, and the chairs and the faculty owned the process. And the reason I did that is because as an administrator, I come and I can go, or I can be let loose. But when people own the process and build as faculty and staff, sustainability will go on, and they will see the value of what they put in. So even tomorrow, I mean, we presented in the mid-confa in the last month a proposal, and tomorrow we'll hear the feedback from FAA. But they have proceeded farther along in doing this work, and we are looking forward. And the idea was based on three things. Is there a way to create innovative programs? Is there a way to have relevant programs for the students of today and the students of the future? Is there opportunity to also make the work equitable among the faculty? And then you've heard this word waste used in the other spheres and discussions, but is there some way where we can be, people don't want to hear that, cost effective, so that you don't have to take more classes than you need to graduate, and you don't need to pay more money to stay here in order to graduate. So those were the premises that, or the principles that guided this process. On the part of the student, I continue to engage with the students. And one of the things is, this is the time that people are at a high alert. And you'll hear a lot of conversation about a grade appeal, an issue. And this is where I have those conversations with students to understand, because at the end of the day, we are preparing you to be people in the world that will deal with these kinds of things. You will not work with everybody that you like. You will not work with a friend. You go to work. If you want to make a friend, you go somewhere else and have a friend. So how do we prepare you to be that person who can work in an environment that people have different ideas and passions and still want to work in and want to achieve these outcomes? So in those conversations, we have those heart-to-heart conversations and give people tools and allow you to express yourself. Because one thing I've learned, you guys are very innovative. Very innovative. You're smart. The difference between you and I is just because I started my degree a long time ago before you. So if you think that way, you become innovative. So, in short, life is changing, we are changing, the world is changing, and we have to embrace the changes. Sometimes it's good to question, and I want you to question and bring your valid points onto the table, but things are moving. We have AI with us. What are we doing about it? All right. Any questions for me?
Thank you so much. Do we have any questions for our Dean of the Day? All right, seeing none, thank you so much for your wonderful time. Please give them a very round of applause. Let's now move forward with our officer report. First of all, President Colrin.
Hello, everyone. Happy Dead Week. I hope y'all are doing well. Like I know we're just I think a week and a half left until semester, so I appreciate y'all's efforts being here and just keep going through this. So I'll try to get through this report as fast as I can. It might be futile, but we'll see how it goes. So I only have one policy topic today, park and transportation, so I'll dive right into that. I attended the first Park and Transportation Committee meeting of the semester. I attended it yesterday, and we had really good conversations on the intricacies of parking on campus for MSU Mankato. We had an hour and a half conversation on the parking, so I'll say the biggest highlight, and the biggest highlight was the percentage increase that was looked to between this fiscal year and next fiscal year, and that percentage increase is 7%. Is the amount that was considered initially, and when it came to conversations on a 7% increase, there were active conversations on this and how we want to process this in the future and how we want to talk to students about it. So the biggest thing on my end is that when it comes to fee increases, like having a fee or parking pass permit increase as that big, I very much want to work with students and work with people to find other solutions that are different than a increase that the brunt of is faced by students, faculty, and administration. So I'll be working with the sustainability coordinator, Trenton Ide, who is also the off-campus representative, to see if there's any solutions we could find for that 7% increase to translate that into other things that balance the budget. So if you have any ideas, I'd be happy to have some, and I'll be happy to share some news to y'all on parking and transportation when they have their next committee meeting on mid-January. Okay, so on to more student government stuff. We're in the home stretch of the semester, and I recognize that it is room for celebration. So I'm looking to have a late night breakfast event of all y'all over in the student government conference room. As John will probably announce later in this meeting, we have late night breakfast, a big event in the CSU happening on next Monday at December 8th at 9 p.m. So if you want to join us and join student government as a community, myself, and the very least the speaker will be in the student government conference room starting at 9 p.m. So if you want to join us, get some food down at MAVAB, and then join us back in the student government conference room to socialize, play board games, I'm more than happy to have you. And second to last, on closing thoughts, I think with this is just want to say thank you all for a great semester. I've been going to a semester and just doing a lot of reflection and seeing how it goes, and it's I really appreciate how the semester went. Starting this year out, I want to try something different in student government and try to make the organization be a lot more center focused and seeing more tangible things happen, not in the cabinet, but in the senator position. And seeing the things that y'all are doing and seeing all the amazing things that are happening, I am just proud and impressed. So I really appreciate it, whether it be the AD projects, creating tenant associations, or constantly and consistently attending city council meetings, and so much more. It is amazing. I just really appreciate it. So as we go into the break and end this last official meeting, I hope you all have the time you deserve to relax and know that I'm very proud of y'all and really appreciate how amazing team this is. So that's the last thing I have on this agenda, but there's one more thing that I think needs to be said. We still have to center the month for November. So I'll describe it and let's go deep into it. So this person at the very start of the semester, over September, October, I knew they were getting a Senate award sometime. They are very active and they always come to Senate in a very positive manner. As always, happy to talk to people and have good discussion. They're always kind and humble as an individual, and they're always open to feedback and making sure that when it comes to the conversation, everyone feels like they're heard and that the tangible things are coming from that conversation and discussion. And they are really active in student government, especially on the Senate floor, as for this academic year so far, they have offered the most resolutions. So it's really good to see how it goes. And they're just real engaged, and they're looking to be more engaged with student government and are active to take on any additional things. I sent them a request over to them to attend Meet and Confer tomorrow to present the resolution they offered, and was unanimously passed by Senate. And their answer was immediate yes, and just going through what can be done to help and so on and so forth. And overall, it's just impressive because they're here as a full-time student, a full-time human being, or also a full-time graduate assistant. And they're doing this on top of just being compassionate and providing so much support to their students that really shows what we see the university doing with graduate students and what they strive to do with their curriculum. So long story short, I consider it a really big honor to present this to Bob Johnson. Thank you, everyone, and that's everything I have. I'm open to questions.
Any questions to our president, Colin? All right, seeing none, we move forward with our officer report for VP Kathy.
Hi everyone, I can't believe it's already week 15. But before anything else, I want to wish all of you all the best for your upcoming finals. You've all worked really hard and I hope you guys have a good finals week. Now moving straight up to meeting updates. Because of Thanksgiving break, we did not have a lot of meetings last week. However, we did have a few meetings, so just a basic update on that. Me and speaker met with Antonia, the director of Student Health Services, to talk about international student insurance and health service overall. We did get a lot of information, so we've asked her to come and present that in front of the Senate, hopefully next semester. I will let you guys know a week or two prior, and you guys can be prepared with your questions. Other one was with VP Morris, and most of our discussion centered around how the community sessions were, about potentially changing name of DEI, and how people were for and against it. For the upcoming meeting, we do have a busy week ahead. Not my favorite thing just before finals week, but we have meet and confer tomorrow. I have a meeting with Vice President Johns this Friday, meeting with Vice President Morris this Friday, and next Wednesday, me and President will be meeting President Inch. So if you guys again have any topics you want us to discuss with any of those people, please come and reach out to either myself or President Corin. For the vacancies, we currently have 3 seats in College of Allied Health and Nursing, 1 in College of Business, 1 for Graduate Studies, 1 for Res Life, and 1 for College of Humanities and Social Science. I did see a few applications, so hopefully we get somebody elected today. And for coordinator vacancies, 2 positions have opened up for next semester. One is your basic needs and another one is your academic affairs. So if any of you are interested, please apply as soon as possible. The application for this position is already open and it stays open until Sunday, December 7th, and it closes at 11:55 p.m. that day. After that, President Corin and I will be conducting interviews, so hopeful I'll see a few faces in those interviews. Now closing up, as we wrap up the semester, I really want to thank each and every one of you for making student government and Senate really memorable and meaningful experience for me. I still remember my very first meeting where I sat down in this chair having absolutely no idea what I was doing. But for my very first meeting, I didn't know what consent agenda meant. I didn't know what speaker's correspondence meant. I didn't know anything. I was just sitting here and I was like, what is going on? But now, as we've gone through the semester, I've learned a lot. And as you all know, this is my very first year at student government, and having to balance the vice president role along with nursing school was definitely not easy, but I got along with it. I hope I was good as a vice president to all of you. And if I was not, feedbacks are always appreciated. And on that, I'm really proud of each and every one of you for what you've achieved, and I'm excited to see what you guys have for next semester as well. And I just want to let you know that the 3 of us are what we are because of all the hard work, dedication, and time that you guys put for student government. And next semester is going to be even a bigger blast because it's budget season. And again, absolutely no idea what to do, but we're gonna learn. And I hope you guys have a good winter break. Everyone deserves that break, so please enjoy, relax, and I will be active on Teams and email, and you guys can even text me on my phone as long as you're not texting me at 8 a.m. in the morning like President Corin does every morning.
6 a.m.
Okay, now moving over to Senator of the Month. Now this is one of my favorite parts, and for this month, Senator of the Month, I am giving that to one of the returning senators. This senator has always supported me personally and professionally. He's someone I can go to when I'm stressed, someone who checks in on me every week or every other week. And He offers to help me. He offers to even bring me coffees when he knows I'm like really stressed out. And in Senate, he has gone above and beyond. And even though he's preparing to be graduating pretty soon, he's taken on extra responsibilities. He has served on election commission. He has attended budget meeting confer, and he consistently brings forward different ideas. And I've seen how dedicated he is way before I joined student government. But even in student government, I've seen how he communicates with everybody, how he keeps me in loop when I don't know what's going on, and I'm like, what am I doing? And then he brings up his ideas. So that has really helped me. So drum roll, please. The Senate of the Month for November goes to Senator Riaz. Thanks. Who's also my full-time coach. Full-time coach. Okay. I'm open for any questions.
All right, do we have any questions for our VP, Kathleen? Seeing none, let's move forward with my officer report. First of all, I'd like to start by thanking everyone for their hard work and dedication throughout the semester. All those countless emails, all those countless office hours that we did, it all was worth it at the end. And thank you very, very much for all of it. I'd like to speak about two things in particular. One is operating procedure task force, and another is senator stipend. We are here again talking about operating procedures. We kind of underestimated how stressful it would be to completely get rid of everything that we know about the proceeding and create a new one while trying to tackle your finals week. But we did come into a conclusion throughout the task force that introducing such a big change during the finals week would not really be up to the par, and we decided that throughout the winter break we will try to optimize it in more better way so that we can present it in next semester. So that is happening pretty soon. Another thing is first senator stipend. If everybody remembers, everybody signed the contract saying that they are eligible for $100 fee, let's say. For you to be able to receive that, I'll have to confirm your eligibility and to check if you like meet the requirement or not. And for me to be able to check that, I'll have to check your attendance. So for all those people who have not given their senator office, like senator hours in the Excel sheet, please make sure to update it. I will be sending over all the eligible senators tomorrow before 12 noon. So make sure you update your senator hours on the Excel working sheet as soon as possible. Apart from that, I don't really have anything else to say. I really hope everybody's ongoing or upcoming finals go like really well. And that's all. I'm open for questions. All right, seeing no questions, we move forward with our senator report. First of all, I'd like to invite Senator Wynn. Actually, he's not here, is he? No. Okay, Senator Liu.
Hi everyone, happy finals week. Okay, so mainly I'm gonna be going over just updates about my senator project and my work as RHA liaison this semester. So for my senator project, a quick refresher for what my project is. It's the Multiculturalism and Global Citizenship Project. So the aim is to promote like appreciation of our multicultural global campus and increase awareness that we are global citizens, basically. So the aim of how to do this is through fun social events commemorating holidays from various cultures, and these events will also have like an information piece through slideshows and Kahoots with prizes and stuff. And currently there are 5 senators on this project. There's me, Senator Albart, Senator Huynh from Res Life, Senator Atkinson, and Senator Morris. So progress so far. So I've drafted a plan for our first event, which will be held in February 2026 in the spring semester to celebrate Lunar New Year. And so Lunar New Year is celebrated by various East and Southeast Asian countries and their diasporas. So we have like quite a bit of representation with those communities in our group. So the summary of the plan is basically the event is going to happen on February 9th to the 15th, which is the week before Lunar New Year on February 6th, on February 17th, because a lot of people might be going home for that, including me. So, and we're also gonna encourage like cultural dress or just red clothing because red is a lucky color in a lot of Asian cultures. The event will be like a get together, talk, eat cultural snacks, but also with a slideshow presentation on Lunar New Year customs, values, and reasons for celebration. And I'm planning on doing a Kahoot with prizes on that. And I'm also planning on giving out like a door prize for like red packets with raffle tickets and candies. Okay, so and to do that, we need to work with the Kearney International Center and the Multicultural Center. So I am in the process of sharing like my plan and ideas with them, and I will keep my group members updated on how that goes. So moving on to my work as RJ liaison. So the last RJ meeting of this semester was like before Thanksgiving break, or maybe it was a week before that. So basically I was serving as the RJ liaison. I still am, will be next semester. So far, just what I'm doing is giving RJ brief updates on what is happening in Senate meetings that might be relevant to people in the assembly at RJ. So things like the recent Student United conference, I told them like what we focused on there. And the resolution for the tuition freeze, that one was really important. And I also just every week, I advertise our remaining senator seats and just reminded everyone to vote in the spring elections coming up. So, and that's it. My office hours are Monday 3 to 4, Friday 2:30 to 3 on most weeks, unless I have something come up suddenly. You can always email me at serene.liu@mnsu.edu, Teams to me, or just talk to me anytime. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Do we have any questions? All right, Vice President Ghaffli.
So just a question or clarification. You said you'd be going home for that week, so who's gonna host it, or did I not hear that correctly?
Oh yeah, so I'm going home like on the actual like weekend of Lunar New Year, but like I'm planning to do the event like the week before.
Could I get the date, Senator?
So the event's gonna be on the week of February 9th to 15th, which is the week before Lunar New Year, which is on February 17th.
All right, thank you so much. Do we have any other questions for the Senator? All right, seeing none, thank you so much for a wonderful, wonderful report. Now we can clap. All right, moving forward with our vacancies. I will first of all begin by announcing all the vacancies that we have. Actually, no, okay. Senator College of Allied Health and Nursing has 3 vacancies. Do we have anyone here today for Senator College of Allied Health and Nursing? We have 1 vacancy for Senator College of Business. Do we have anyone here today for College of Business? We have 1 vacancy for Senator Graduate Studies. Do we have anyone for? Yes, candidate, please move forward to the podium. So before you begin, I will just revise you all the rules of how this will work. You will be given 2 minutes of opening statement time. After that, you will be followed with a question and answer round where any senators may ask you questions regarding the position or your stakes on it. After that, you'll have 2 minutes time for closing statement, and then we'll move forward with a discussion. Is that clear?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You may begin whenever you feel ready.
Thank you. My name is Kai Bartlett. I'm applying for the Graduate Studies Center position. I just started my first semester here at MSU as a graduate. I got my undergrad in geography, and that's what I'm doing my master's in as well. I moved here about 3 years ago, and I've grown, and the campus has grown, and I just want to be more a part of that. I really want to, coming from like a very personal experience, I really want to improve the campus, speak for the campus, advocate for the students. I want to specifically, I've had struggles with like the nutrition facts on some of the stuff we have on like Mav Ave or in the cafeteria. I think we should have those be more, those can be found easier. I want to employ more like disease and germ prevention. There's not a lot of like hand sanitizers around. I did some GIS work in the lab earlier, and I have to bring like germ wipes to clean it because those keyboards get pretty nasty. Things like that. I also want to unify the community outside of campus, but also campus. We are a part of Mankato as a city. I think having some sort of way to combine would be beneficial for everyone involved outside of campus, including campus, such as like a farmer's market. We have that big square by the fountain, and it doesn't get used enough. I feel like a farmer's market would be wonderful. Food shelf advocacy. I know it's being that building's being renovated and destroyed, and we need to find a new place for that. That's all.
All right, thank you so much. Do we have any questions? Senator Wickersham, followed by Senator Reyes, followed by Senator Stokes, followed by Senator Hiluka.
Hi, thank you for coming to Senate today, and thank you for just applying to join us. It's very clear that you have a lot of goals in mind as to what you'd like to accomplish while in the Senate if you were to be elected. And so I think my question for you is, what experience do you have in advocating for projects in the past?
I have never held a very official leadership role. I've always been kind of a unofficial leader. I have a lot of, I advocate a lot for people at work. I work at a nursing home. I advocate for the residents. I advocate for the my peers. I have worked, or not worked really, but I've had experience being parts of other different teams. Like I was on the lacrosse team here for a while. I was here for on the esports team for a while, and I got a lot of leadership roles in there, things like that. Yeah, I'm hoping to lean into that more and get more experience through this, and be part of more of the community as well.
Thank you, candidate. Senator Reyes.
Hi. So applying for the graduate studies senator position, there's only 2 positions total in the Senate. I think you have a lot of good ideas. Do you have any ideas or issues you want to address that specifically affect graduate students as a constituency?
Specifically and solely, I can't think of one right now off the top of my head. The ones that I've mentioned, I feel like affect everyone. As a graduate student, everything I've listed affects me. Yeah, as a looking at them independently, I can't think of anything. I feel like my approach is more holistic and looks at everyone.
Thank you. Senator Stokes.
Hi, thank you again for applying, and you have made some wonderful points. To follow up on the question just asked, how would you be able to gauge the interest and communicate effectively with those in the graduate programs here?
I have a couple connections and I plan to expand those connections through this and other endeavors. I know some people here, and I have that sort of outreach and those connections. I am a part of the Ages Club, and I also am a graduate assistant here. I have that position, and I get experience from that, I suppose. Yes.
Thank you so much, candidate. Senator Hiluka.
Yield to redundancy.
All right, thank you so much. Do we have any other further questions for the candidate? All right, seeing none, candidate, you'll have 2 minutes for your closing statement. You may begin whenever you feel ready.
I don't, for the sake of brevity, I don't feel like I need to reiterate anything, but I would like to add that I also like to address just campus sustainability in general. I feel like there are ways to cut costs, save money, and also improve the environment at the same time. Kind of go hand in hand. There are multiple ways to do this. And for example, I have a friend in the geography department. She is about to graduate, but her thesis was on installing solar panels on academic roofs. And just looking at her research, it's a no-brainer. I don't see why we don't do that. That is all. Thank you for all of your time.
All right, thank you so much. We will now begin with the discussion. Okay, yeah, but candidate, you may feel free to stay in the room if you want, or you may leave the room if you want as well. After the discussion is done, we will move forward with voting, and then if you're outside, someone will call you back in. Thank you so much. Yes, Senator Atkinson?
I really liked how the candidate, when asked a question that he didn't know the answer to, he just said, I don't know. That's a really strong trait for me. I appreciate the honesty, and for that, I'm gonna definitely be put on that alone. I'll be pushing a yes vote. Not excluding anything else, but I appreciate the honesty. It's really good.
Thank you so much. Senator Ide.
I've met with this possible senator before, and he is a very smart person, and he's very dedicated to things that he's in, so I know that this would be something that he would be passionate about. I would encourage a yes vote.
Thank you so much. Senator Cummings?
So Kai is actually the grad assistant in my soils class, and there's only like about 11 of us in that class, so we all get pretty close. And in talking about my student government experiences, he was extremely passionate towards the different projects that I was working on, as well as student government as a whole. He's a super passionate and driven individual, and I think he would make a really positive impact here at this table. So for that, I encourage a yes vote.
Thank you so much. Senator Hiluka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would also like to speak in favor of this candidate. Yeah, a lot of the things that he said, particularly regarding our dining companies on campus and different things that are going on with those. A lot of it's being echoed in the project that I'm working on right now in support of students with dietary restrictions. So having somebody who's had experiences like that and being able to provide their input on a project that I'm working on would be beneficial, and I would like to encourage a yes vote for that.
Thank you so much. Senator Stokes.
I thought this candidate answered all questions phenomenally. I respect tremendously his passion for making a change and bringing up issues he sees in the school around him. I think is a tremendous feat of willpower, even if he did not know how he could affect this specific program he is applying to. I have full faith that he will make a change, and a good one at that. I encourage a yes vote for this candidate.
Thank you so much. Senator Dietrich?
When I first saw the candidate and that he went up to the podium, I thought to myself, I know this person. Where do I know this person from? And then I realized he's the GA in my geography class. I just want to say that in his work as a GA in my geography class, he has been very dedicated. He cares a lot about his studies as a graduate student, but also he takes his job very seriously, and I have no doubts that he would take being a graduate senator just as seriously. So I encourage a yes vote as well.
Thank you so much, Senator Dietrich. We end this discussion with Vice President Kafley for now.
I really like the way he answered the questions, and he said a line where he said, I've not been a leader officially, but I have led groups unofficially, which I really like because you don't always need titles to do something, and the fact that he's done something without those roles and titles really speaks a lot of volume to him as a person and how he works. So I will be pushing a yes vote, and I also really love the honesty where he said, I don't know at the top of my mind. I think that's something worth appreciating for.
Thank you so much. I'd just like to request anyone to call a motion to vote. All right.
Question.
Yes.
Second.
Any dissent? No dissents. All those in favor of calling this in question, please raise your black card. All those who disagree. All right. Everybody take a piece of paper, write down yes or no. I will request John to take votes from the left-hand side while I take it from the right-hand side.
It is my pen. He walked out with it in front of my face and he said, I'm gonna keep it. He just left with it.
I left my G2 at home, so
Yes.
my G2's at home. I borrowed
That's what kind.
so
that's the
I
sort of
did
topic.
actually need the pen for my.
It's also for coffee.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. What? You do
When did I do the artwork?
I've seen artwork before like this.
No, Wizard, you only stand here watching it. What do you mean you were watching?
may not know.
You need Steve, friend.
Yes. I was like, thank you.
I have exam.
You got this.
I have exam after. Who has exam after Senate?
Is that your ballot? Exam after Senate? Oh, that's gross.
I know, my final exam.
John? Oh, for what class?
I'm
reading Christian Day. Yeah.
Simulation. Nursing simulation.
Your interview?
It's a one page.
You were really good. I'm meeting with
Oh,
Christian. I have a Red Bull for you on Friday. Why are you laughing? You don't like Red Bull?
Like American food is better employment option than Red Bull.
Yeah,
whatever they say.
A Red Bull sales training role is.
I have a bunch of.
Just gotta see what that's doing.
Like for my
2/3?
salt state lab and for my logistics lab, I have both of those due
I
tomorrow.
mentioned that.
I'm not excited
See
to.
what I need.
I'm excited.
Clean and space.
It's awesome. I don't know what that is.
Trenton's coming. I sent that. Yeah.
No.
Him and I had a meeting. Yesterday. That's my buddy. Yeah, I was surprised.
All right, we are back in session. Candidate forward towards the podium. All right, before I announce you the results of the voting, I'd like to just inform a small information to the entire Senate. The candidate used to be my IGL while we played Apex, by the way. So he had some leadership qualities that I can assure. With the current voting count, you have successfully been elected as the new Senator for Grad Studies. That's a wonderful news. Now I'd like to request you to raise your right hand and take oath of office with me. Just repeat after me, okay?
Yes.
I state your name,
I, Kai Bartlett,
will represent and serve
will represent and serve
the students of Minnesota State University, Mankato,
the students of
Minnesota State
Minnesota State Mankato
in student life
and student life
and academic needs,
and academic needs,
and will uphold the mission,
and will uphold the mission,
Constitution,
Constitution,
and the bylaws
and the bylaws
of the student government.
of the student government.
I so affirm.
I so affirm.
Thank you so much. You may please
Thank
join
you.
us. You can just sit in any of the chairs that's empty. All right. Now we have one vacancy for Senator Residential Life. Do we have any candidates here today? Yes, please proceed to the podium. All right, before you begin, I'd like to revise the rules again. You'll have 2 minutes for opening statement. You'll be followed with a question and answer round, and then you'll have 2 minutes for your closing statement. We'll then begin with the discussion. Is it clear?
Yeah.
All right, you may begin whenever you feel ready.
Hello? Hello? Is it okay if it's not like fully on the mic? Okay. Hi, senators and not senators. My name is Nola Ray. I'm a sophomore and I'm applying for one of the on-campus Res Life senator positions. I want to talk primarily about what I want to do as a senator. I'm from Nebraska. Why am I here? I'm transgender. Nebraska passed legislation that was kind of anti-transgender. And so I came here to Minnesota because Minnesota is a lot more welcoming of people like me. But it's not just about the fact that this university is in Minnesota. This university in particular was very welcoming to me and, as a transgender student. As a senator, I would like to preserve that welcoming environment for transgender individuals. I want to fight for safety on campus, not just for transgender people, but for all vulnerable groups, right? Immigrants, the queer community, other than transgender people, and women, especially considering recent attacks on these groups by the federal government. I think it's important to continue to provide a safe haven for them. Another major draw for the university for me was affordability, which as a senator, I would seek to preserve. Free public transportation in particular was a huge draw for me personally. As someone who lives in Stadium Heights and does not have a car, free busing is very important for me. I am also aware that there are no current senators from Stadium Heights, so I think it's important to provide representation for them. Being concerned with affordability, I'm also concerned with the recent tuition hikes. And as an HHS major, I'm also concerned with the cost cutting that the university has done recently to the HHS program. I believe the humanities are why we live, so as a senator, I would like to seek to protect them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much. That is it.
Thank you so much. That was a wonderful opening statement. Now, do we have any questions for the senator? I'm sorry, for the candidate. Any senators? Do we have any question from the senators? Yes, Senator Ide.
How do you plan to specifically help your constituency, whether that be projects or reaching out to them, whatever you deem? And if you don't have an answer right now, that's perfectly fine.
Well, I'd like to see what I can do. I'm aware of things called senator projects. I'm not sure what I would do specifically for mine, but I would like to join whoever senator project I can that I think would provide something beneficial for people at Stadium Heights. I've heard whispers of like people wanting cameras at Stadium Heights for safety reasons. I think that that's something that I would look into.
Senator Stokes.
Hi, well, you just led into my question perfectly. Are there any ideas about projects or things that could help the tenants at Stadium Heights that you personally believe should be expanded upon?
I mean, other than what I've already said, protecting free public transportation, protecting, enhancing safety measures like the cameras or whatever, I think would be good. I also have been thinking about texting the group chat or whatever for my building and being like, hey, I'm a senator now. Please bring up things that you want me to bring up with the student government. So I'll have to talk with my prospective constituency about that.
Thank you. Senator Wickersham.
Yeah, thank you for applying and thank you for coming to Senate today to state your case. I think my question is really, as not many people, even those living in Stadium Heights, are aware that Stadium Heights is considered on-campus residential housing, mainly due to the distance from campus and from other residential life halls and communities. How would you seek to address the disconnect and between Stadium Heights residents and other residents on campus? How would you seek to make them feel more like a part of the MSU community?
I'm not sure. I think there's definitely like, as I said, providing free public transportation is a really big help for that because, you know, you can get on the bus and head here. I'm not sure.
Thank you. Do we have any other senators with questions to the candidate? All right, seeing none, you have 2-minute time for your closing statement. You may begin whenever you feel ready.
I don't really have much to say. I just want to say, you know, one thing that I said on my senator application, what I said was my greatest strength was my passion. So please approve me as a senator so that I can bring my passion here and I can fight for safety for vulnerable groups, affordability for students, and protection for HHS.
Thank you so much. We will now begin with our discussion. You may leave the room if you want, or you can stay here if you want as well. All those senators who are willing to speak for the discussion, please raise your placards. I'll start noting down your name. Senator Stokes, followed by Senator Hiluka, followed by Senator Atkinson, followed by Senator Frost, followed by Senator Wickersham, and followed by VP Kafle. Senator Stokes, you may begin.
Great. I would just first like to say I very much enjoyed this candidate's points, especially about protection of communities on this campus that are feeling endangered or unsafe. And I think that is a wonderful point that is not brought up enough in this Senate. I also very much would be excited if this candidate was to be elected to have a representative from Stadium Heights. I feel as though the communication to Stadium Heights is not very well formatted or very clear. I feel as though Stadium Heights is currently the possibly most poorly run of our on-campus housing complexes. So I am very excited to see someone so passionate and so eager to learn possibly be elected to a Senate position. I am pushing for a yes vote, and that's it.
Thank you so much. Senator Hiluka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I speak in favor of this candidate, and I'd just like to touch on one thing that they provided as an answer to their application. When asked about their biggest weakness, as we heard their biggest strength is their passion, they simultaneously stated that their biggest weakness is probably my inability to give energy to things I don't care about, although I've been getting better. Now, one thing I will say is I have had the pleasure of having this candidate in my History 250 Riots and Revolution class, which is a class that is arguably entirely about taking things that you don't care about and forcing yourself to care about them. This candidate has proven to me many times in that class and other situations that they can push themselves to find something to care about in most issues. And I've seen them fight for these things in many situations. And having seen this, I believe that this candidate could be a driving force that helps many of our projects get pushed over that final finish line. And for that reason, I would like to encourage a yes vote for this candidate.
Thank you so much. Senator Atkinson.
This candidate talked about their passion. And personally, I think that that passion about different things, you know, passion about your personal projects, passion just in general is one of the greatest traits that somebody can have. And I can tell that this candidate is very passionate about the things that she cares about. And I would just love to see what they can do for the Senate. And for that, I'm gonna be pushing a yes vote.
Thank you so much. Senator Frost?
Yeah, I think this candidate brought up a lot of good points, specifically relating to their background, as someone who's transitioned and how that will be an asset as a senator. And I think a focus on queer rights with as much passion as we just saw is something that this body very much needs. And I think they'll be a great asset for us to have. So I am very strongly in favor, and I think everyone else should vote yes as well.
Thank you so much. Senator Wickersham?
Not to sound like a broken record, but I would also like to encourage a yes vote. I have had the pleasure of working with this candidate before, and I cannot stress enough the enthusiasm and energy that they bring to everything that they work on, that they're a part of, and just even beyond professional work, how much of a joy they are to work with.
Thank you so much. Do we have, so Vice President Kafli.
I really like the way I really like the way the candidate presented themselves in the question answer round and all of their statement. I think having representation from each community is really important when it comes to student body, because our student body is filled with different communities, and having a representation from minority community in our Senate is really important. So I'd like to pass a yes vote.
Thank you so much. Senator Reyes?
On a motion to call question.
Any seconds? Any dissents? All those in favor of calling this to question, please raise your placard. All those who disagree. Seeing we clearly passed this motion. Now, I'd like to request John again to take votes from the left-hand side while I take it from the right-hand side. Everybody take a piece of paper and then write yes or no, depending on your vote.
Of course.
Artists. I'm just adding fun. It's not. Okay. Can it?
Sorry, I'm looking at myself like. Perfectly normal, same behavior. Yeah, well, actually, student representation and all that. I feel appreciate that. Much the same. Really, me too. I like singing meetings so far. This is fun.
Expedite.
Oh my god. Because tomorrow I'm not coming on campus. We have meet and confer. I have to run. We can meet up.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're back in session. Candidate, if you could please move forward to the podium. All right, after looking at the results for the voting, I can say that you have successfully been elected as the senator for residential life. Now, I would just like to request you to raise your right hand and then repeat after me. I state your name.
I state your name.
No, as in your
I, Nola Ray,
will represent and serve
will represent and serve
the students of Minnesota State University Mankato
the students of Minnesota State University Mankato
in student life
in student life
and academic needs,
and academic needs,
and will uphold the mission,
and will uphold the mission,
Constitution,
Constitution,
and the bylaws
and the bylaws
of the student government.
of the student government.
I so affirm.
I so affirm.
Thank you so much. You may please have a seat. Now, lastly, we have one more vacancy for Senator College of Senator for College of Humanities and Social Science. Do we have anyone present here for that today? All right. We have now successfully elected 2 new senators in today's meeting, and we have only 5 Senate seats remaining out of 32. So make sure when next semester starts, you talk to your colleagues, you talk to your friends, and then make sure that the Senate seats are filled before budget season starts. We now move forward with new business. First of all, retrenchment resolution is to be presented. So I'd like to invite the author and sponsor second. Yeah.
I'm the primary sponsor.
Sorry?
I'm the primary sponsor.
Okay, yeah. So I would just request you to present the resolution in front of the session.
You want me to stand up here?
You can do it from your seat. That's fine.
Okay, so here we have the resolution to condemn retrenchment. Where the first whereas clause, whereas Minnesota State University Mankato, MNSU, has announced their decision to retrench 7 tenured professors, and their termination will occur within a year. Whereas the aforementioned decision follows an over 8% overall tuition increase and the suspension of 86 academic programs without a hiring freeze. The third whereas the aforementioned decision was made without sufficient warning or prior consultation to implicated staff, nor recommendations to subvert the administration's impending decision. Fourth whereas the aforementioned decision disregards procedures of due process negotiated with the Minnesota State University Faculty Association's collective bargaining agreements. Fifth whereas the aforementioned decision was not made with reasonable consideration to performance, professionalism, qualifications, disciplinary procedures, or documented budgetary constraints. Whereas the aforementioned decision reflects a concerning pattern of for-profit, financialized, and speculative decision-making, which endangers the pursuit of diverse, affordable, and prestigious academic endeavors at MNSU. And then the final whereas the student government maintains an obligation to advocate for the welfare of students and the faculty of this university, now therefore be it. Resolved, the student government of Minnesota State University Mankato, 1, condemns this administration's decision to entrench tenured faculty without reasonable budgetary, disciplinary, or qualified citation. 2, denounces this administration's marketized, financial, and for-profit decision-making, which threatens Minnesota State University Mankato's affordable academic programs. 3, urges the administration of Minnesota State University Mankato to rescind entrenchment of all 7 implicated professors and reconsider the prior suspension of academic programs. And finally, be it resolved, the fourth one, we urge the administration of Minnesota State University Mankato to negotiate with the SUFA according to due process procedures regarding entrenchment and termination throughout the future. Now, I know I just talked to you for a very long time, and I'm sorry. But there is a lot to go over in this, and there's a lot of things that are important in here. I think what part of why this bill is so important is because these professors are being retrenched, and we haven't seen valid reasons for it. And the university is trying to run itself more like a business, which is not what it should be doing. It should be functioning as an academic institution because business's sole goal is to make a profit. The sole goal of this institution should be to educate people, not make a profit. And that's what this resolution really gets at.
Thank you. Senator Hillstead, followed by Gallery.
I'm gonna put a motion on the table to move this to old business so we can vote on this next Senate meeting and put that motion out.
All right, before we, Senator Bob is still left. Senator Johnson is still left to present, but since we got a motion and seconds, are there any dissent?
Dissent.
None dissent. We will move forward with the formal voting. All those in favor of the motion raised by Senator Hillstead, could you please state the motion again, Senator Hillstead?
Senator, to move this resolution to old business to talk about it further next Senate meeting.
All right, all those in favor to move this resolution to old business in the next meeting, please raise your placards. All those who are against? With clear and simple majority, the motion passes. We now move forward with another new business, which is advocacy against industrial use of aquifers. The sponsors of this resolution, please present the resolution.
All right. So this is the advocacy against industrial use of aquifers resolution. I'll just start. Whereas the Mount Simon Hinckley Aquifer is the last pure and unpolluted source of drinking water for over 1 million Minnesotans, including students at Minnesota State University Mankato, with an estimated 3.2 billion gallons of water pumped yearly. Whereas this aquifer is the most productive underground water source available to the greater Mankato region. Whereas the urban planning document titled Alternative Urban Area Review states that a singular industrial project in the greater Mankato region would pump up to 30 million gallons of water a day. Whereas hydrogeologists predict that further mass pumping of that aquifer would put immense strain on the Mount Simon/Hinckley Aquifer by rapidly depleting and introducing pollutants into the aquifer. Whereas allowing such industrial pumping would rapidly deplete and harm the water source that over 1 million Minnesotans depend on. Whereas expanded infrastructure costs can be charged to utility users, therefore university students and the university itself, as seen frequently when companies need to fund these expenses. Whereas municipalities that also utilize this aquifer are actively lobbying to lift the statewide Groundwater Protection Act to allow the first ever industrial usage of the Mount Simon/Hinckley Aquifer, specifically targeting the industrial project previously listed in the Alternative Urban Area Review. Whereas lifting said legislature would allow unrestrained industrial use of the Mount Simon/Hinckley Aquifer, which would induce detrimental impacts on the water sources that over 1 million Minnesotans depend on. Be it resolved, the 93rd Student Government believes that the industrial pumping of the Mount Simon/Hinckley Aquifer may negatively impact the ability to ensure clean, cheap, drinkable water sources for generations of students, faculty, and local residents to come. Be it further resolved, the 93rd Student Government establishes its adverse view on the industrial use of the Mount Simon/Hinckley Aquifer. And be it finally resolved, the 93rd Student Government requests that the President of Minnesota State University Mankato takes a written stance against the industrial use of the Mount Simon/Hinckley Aquifer. Additionally, I would like this resolution to be called to question after Q&A. We plan on doing more work with this project over the next month during winter break, and having it passed during this meeting would allow us to have ample time over break to cover this issue. Stand for any questions.
Any questions by any senators? Are there any points of motion on the floor? Yes.
Motion to call the question?
Second.
Any dissents? And are we just moving straight forward without any discussion, senators?
Yeah.
Sorry?
I have a point to make.
We'll first move forward with the point raised by Senator Ide. Any dissents? No dissents? All those in favor of calling this motion into question, please raise your placards. All those who disagree. All right. Okay. This motion is in question. All those in favor of this resolution, please raise your placard. All those who are not in favor of the resolution, please raise your placard. All right, this resolution clearly passes. Thank you. Before we move forward with announcements, I'd like to just say something. For old business, after our break is over and we have next Senate meeting, we'll be going in detail about retrenchment resolution as well. All this does is give us more ample time to actually go through everything more properly and in detail before putting in a vote. So this is actually something that is good. And I'd like to advise everybody that will be casting a vote on this to please go through all the facts and figures properly before anything happens. Now, announcements. Do we have any announcements? Yes, Senator Frost.
I know this is related to the resolution. I know there was some questions about whether there was actually a pattern of financialized decision making. I will be sending out a Star Tribune article to every senator that has a quote from our provost, David Hood, in which he directly states that Mankato should be run like a business. And I will be sending you the link for you all to verify that source.
Thank you so much. Any other announcements, Senator Ide?
If anyone is curious regarding the resolution that was just passed, if anyone's curious on some of the sources for the claims, I intended there to be a supporting documents that was sent out in the email. It must have gotten lost in the web somewhere, but if you're interested in it, please shoot me an email or a message on Teams, and I can send over all the sources that were used for the actual resolution. Thank you.
All right, Senator Atkinson?
So I've already established, just a heads up, I've already established with the IEEE that, I already sent a message out about this, but I already established with the IEEE how we will be working over winter break to clean up the junior and senior design labs. That's probably gonna be happening in the next 2 weeks. So if you at all wanna help with that, you don't need to know anything about electronics if you wanna help clean up the junior and senior design labs. But any help would be appreciated. If you show up, we will give you a job and we will give you a spot to work with whatever knowledge you have. So I know it can be a bit scary because, you know, junior and senior design labs, but we need all the hands that we can get to clean up these labs. So if you want to help, hit me up on Teams.
Senator, is this a paid position?
This is not a paid position, no.
Senator Hilluka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just have one quick announcement. The American Red Cross Club will be hosting a blood drive tomorrow from 9:30 until 3:30 here in the CSU ballroom. We are looking for people to donate and also people to help us run the blood drive. So if you're interested in volunteering for that, just reach out to Macy or I. And if you're also interested in signing up, we can provide you with the details. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Vice President Kafle, followed by John.
Just an announcement, next semester is going to be a very stressful and busy semester for me because I will be having a lot of clinicals. So I've talked to President Coran about it. So for the week, especially the first month, I'll be gone probably the entire day of Tuesday. And I think second and third I'll be gone entire day of Monday. And the last month next semester, I'll be gone entire Monday and Tuesdays for my clinical. So my office presence may be a little less, but nevertheless, if you guys need any help from me with your senator projects or any ideas that you have, or just want to talk to me, please reach out to me during the winter break. If you have any potential project ideas, and I can help you find somebody, or I can give you ideas on that. And if you guys want to have a meeting with me during the semester, please let me know a week prior so I can set out that time for you guys, because school will be kicking me next semester. So I just want to make sure that I give you guys ample time next semester. So for that, please reach out to me at your and my earliest convenience as well.
Thank you so much. Final announcement, John.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As President Colleran mentioned, I too want to say thank you for a great semester so far. There have been a lot of projects taken on. Please reach out if there's any way that I can help you take the next step with it and get you closer to a resolution or a completion of those projects. Spring semester moves very quickly. We know that this semester moved very quickly, but at the end of the spring semester, we want to try to avoid as many loose ends as we can. Kudos to the Election Commission, which has met, and Manny and I met with IT the other day to look at the voting ballot. Between now and the first day of class, Manny will work to have the application the election candidacy application made available on the first day of classes in the spring semester. So you will not have a meeting before then, and so just know that that is coming down the pipe as well. There are a lot of activities for finals week that are coming up. And so the late night breakfast is one of them. Please check an issue of the CAN. It'll have a lot of the other stuff listed on there as well, so that you can see. I don't want to get dates and stuff wrong, so I would encourage viewing one of those issues of the CAN. For Senator Bartlett and Senator Ray, if you can meet me over here by this wall at the end of the meeting, I'm going to take a quick photo of you and send it to David Cowan for the roster. And then other than that, I wish you all a successful week of final exams. I am so glad I'm not taking any. But I wish you all the luck with them, okay?
Thank
So have fun.
Yeah, thank you so much, John. Senator Hillstead.
As I know it's finals week and a lot of you are stressed, a common thing I do since I'm a Christian, I go to God for that. So if you ever need a prayer or ever need anything for you believers or non-believers, come to me. I'd be willing to pray over you and help you find that.
Thank you so much.
John did leave out one thing I wanted to mention. First of all, I wanted to say on behalf of the CSU and student activities, thanks for a great semester. Good luck finals next week. We do have, for those that are returning, some people might be new, but we have a massage therapist in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week in room 201 typically. 10-minute massages for free. It's we put up a thing on the door first thing in the morning on Monday to fill the spot, so you come when you want. And on Tuesday we do the same, and Wednesday as well. So 10-minute massages for free as part of the CSU Finals Week program. We'll also have a program downstairs at the Hearth Lounge with some hot chocolate and a cellist down there, harp as well, for a nice little thing. You'll see some of our coloring stations to buy some time to get away from your finals starting on Monday, or maybe even late this week, a teeny bit, that we'll have by some of our entrances overall. And as John talked about, that late night breakfast is always a special time for everybody as we try to serve 650 students along the way, so. Okay.
Mark, will you be by chance giving these massages?
I have a good answer for that. For the right donation, let me finish. For the right donation to Dance Marathon, I'd be happy to give you.
Take my coordinator. No, don't take my coordinator.
Senator Hillstead.
Will senators on this panel be getting priority to that sign-up sheet?
The answer is no.
What?
It's those that like to get up early and be there first thing, first serve, and along the way. Just so you know, they don't fill up very fast for a long time, especially on Wednesday if you're still around. So I think if you came up and you weren't up as early as some other people, you'd probably still get a spot.
All right, thank you so much, Mark. All right, senators, before. Oh, John, again, yes.
I'm sorry, the speaker mentioned the senator stipend. For those of you who do qualify and have questions about how that will be received, it will come across as a financial aid award. And so Anybody who meets the requirements for the senator's incentive, we will be turning over that information to Student Financial Services, and it will appear on your financial aid as a $100 scholarship is what it will show up as. If you have a balance with the university, it will be first applied to that balance. If you do not have a balance with the university, it will be direct deposited into your bank account as any other financial aid rebate would. So for those who are curious as to how that will be received, that's how it'll happen. So, okay.
All right, thank you so much, John. Before we move forward with the roll call, I'd like to make an announcement as well. There is Rocket League and Rainbow Six Siege watch party happening today at the esports facility. Make sure to join that if you guys want to watch some people gaming. Apart from that, everybody please make sure to update the hour sheet so that I can mark you guys as eligible to receive the $100 stipend. We now begin with the roll call. Senator Hyber. Senator Hyber. Senator Kabad. Present. Senator Dietrich.
Here.
Senator Morris. Senator Reyes. Senator Nguyen. Senator Anderson. Senator Zelmer. Senator Cummings. Senator Ide.
Present.
Senator Heluka. Senator Isaac. Senator Knauer.
Here.
Senator Johnson. Senator Atkinson. Senator Stokes. Senator Hillstead.
Present.
Senator Schoen. Senator Liu. Senator Frost.
Here.
Senator Wickersham. Senator Aubart. Senator Nguyen. Senator Bartlett. Senator Rea.
Here.
Thank you very much. Vice President Kafli, President Corin, and Speaker Thapa. It was a wonderful session, everybody. It is currently 5:47 p.m. and I call this meeting over.
I need the two newly elected senators to take pictures and then follow me to
I can, or I can just take it.
student government's office, okay?
I don't know. I love this. Dude, when Trenton's motion got to the question, without any discussion, I jumped.
No, if you come in, I jumped everywhere. I'm not send you.
There you go. I feel like the ground is
Yeah. We all do.
to get soil for like the last oil. They're
Oh, there you go.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I
Aw, so cute.
the Navy one to me is
Okay, I could leave it in there. I'm one class. But nothing would be contributed. Yeah, they could take it, but if I roll over, yes, it gets taxed. It's a big.
And the Discord. Armstrong 2 of 9.
I don't know.
They practice usually
That's why I'm scared about
Sunday, 5 to 7:30.
That's why I'll be contacting you. That's Microsoft Teams. Yeah, I just one time.
You wanna do White Elephant?
I want
Yeah. So I just wanna let you know. Yep. Do you have any questions about any of this? Send me a message on email.
Yeah, see.
They're planning to do that. Resolution passed as great. That'll really.
Everybody loves the hat. Everybody loves the hat. I have more, but they don't always have their.
Let me go track it down.
Yeah. Well, then it would be even heavier.
Dude, I had to have you on.
I'm gonna get a retake of my photo.
Senator Ray.
Yes. You got her, okay.
You need anything?
Right now? Yeah. What's up?
Can you grab me that mic stand over there?
The whole thing?
Oh,
wow.
Thank you.
I would lie, that sounds amazing, by the way.
Very good points.
Yeah, it was interesting.
What just happened?
Senator Frost. I like how the conversations all happened in committees.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best to remember.
Like, not